Okay, let me think. So I bet this one is hanging. Threadpool 7. Threadpool 4. Oh no, this is the timer. Threadpool 7. Entering. Yeah. Threadpool 7 is calling that, and therefore it is hanging. That is thread 9. Up. And again, I guess the one that owns the lock is this one. And that's itself. And as a backtrace, we have wrote down here all the functions that lock it. So we are now in this lock here where we deadlock because we are calling allocate, update, and add handles and unlocking. Here, the bottom one. Allocate, update, add handles, and unlocking. That is being called from update missing descriptor sets, which also locks it. Whoops. Yeah, and the rest is machinery, so there cannot be any other involved. So this must be it. just a stupid thing. It means that it is just a stupid thing. Here I do a read log on sort of descriptor set layouts. And what do I need that read log for? Well, to print it, to read the size, and again the size, and then we have a loop over it. And the problem is calling allocate, update, add handles, and unlocking. We don't do that in that loop. So what happens afterwards? Is this the same function? I don't think so. Nope. Or is it? Update missing descriptor set? Oh, it is still the same function. Okay, we do a find. And then we do another find, at least if this is still the same function. Nope. This is not the same function. This is the function that we deadlock in. So this is the last time that we use it. After that, functions being exited here. That is the update missing descriptor sets, but we are calling this function while it is still locked. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm calling it twice. I'm also calling it from here, possibly. So this is like this is line 1177. And now look upwards for that usage thing. 1109. And 1334, which is a different function. So yes, unless it is all in one loop. This is inside a loop. Suppose I would unlock it again here. So I have to go to this, the end of this loop, at the very least. Are we inside a loop here or not? Again, another loop. Okay, but above here is no loop because you see that from the indentation. So if I jump to the end of this loop, bang. So this is not a problem. I could unlock the read log before calling this, but the other one is a problem because this loop is continuously, I think, let me go up from the start of the loop upwards. Yeah, it's even at the very start of the function we do a read log. However, we return here. So this is also at the end of the function. Ish. So if I could unlock my mutex right before this point, that would work as well. I don't think I can, however. Can I? Don't even know from my head. It's a red. The red is read access type. And the read access type of the primitive one, so that is access. Access has access. And for nothing except access const. Access const has a relock. Unlock. Oh yeah, we have an unlock. Experimental. Okay, what would happen if I just call that? Unlock relock. Well, it would definitely unlock my mutex. And then upon destruction, I guess this prevents something. Yeah, the destructor of this thing. Destructor this tests wrapper value, so that would not do anything anymore after this. Yeah, it looks good. I'm just going to call unlock, I think. Alternatively, I could pass the read locked access type to this function. And then convert that to a write lock. But that can throw an exception. At which point I have to release the read lock and then redo whatever is needed, which is basically nothing. So it would be a whole lot of doing stuff that is in the end not necessary. I could pass the underscore r, the read access type, to this function, catch a exception, and if the exception happens, then I would have to unlock a relock, and I can re-enter it again. So yeah, well, might as well unlock immediately. Now, and then there's the other problem between quotes Here I could of course simply end the scope and have the destructor do it, but then I have to indent almost the whole function, like basically the whole function, just to use a scope thing. And that the whole scope thing is only necessary for the, in case something throws an exception, of course. I don't know, maybe an exception is being thrown. You know, it's doing quite a lot of stuff. We're not really sure. Yeah, maybe I should make it as exception safe, although currently the program will just crash if an exception is thrown, but yeah. I think I'm going to indent everything anyway. It's horrible, but that's because, you know, here we take the read log, and then just before this function you have to unlock it again. Horribly. 249 lines. I think this should solve the deadlock that I had. Oh, that thing is now out of scope. That's not good. I have multiple of those things. Okay, those three factors are needed outside of the scope. They are local, so there's no problem. I don't think there's any problem. I mean, as soon as let's say every other thread would, nah, cannot be a problem. Anyway, let's have a look at set index. Oh, it's just that, yeah. So yeah. Not really interesting. That these are still kept while we release the read log on sort of descriptor set layouts. Demidov. Did you read the title of this stream? Well, I don't know. Doesn't deadlock. I suppose we get further. No, sort of. I'm not sure, but let's assume. I think, yeah. So reproduce this. Model not just the same error, right? Model must be a valid VK shader module handle. And again, and again, and again. Looks like reproducible to me. And I will write the output to a file. Then we don't have a validation error. Figures. Unbelievable. Again a race condition. What if I run it in a debugger? We get a validation error. The same. In the debugger. Okay, well, it's printed by threadpool 5, so I guess it's because of this call here. And I bet all the information is already there. But yeah, I did SSNO. I mean, why are you saying that? Because I have a validation error or because you saw me do something wrong? Going to go up. Of course, Visual Studio is bad, yeah. It's it demands that you run Windows. I'm not running Windows. I never have run Windows. Not in my whole life. Create graphics pipeline unique. So the error belongs to VK create graphics pipelines. Might as well look at this URL, what it is. I suppose, which is never working. So instead I'm gonna search for this in the specs. And where are those specs? I guess here, because it takes forever to load. Now, if module is not VK null handle, module must be a valid VK shader. That's the error that we have. And now we know what module refers to, namely this one. Module is optionally a VK shader module. So this is the module. And that is a handle that is passed to VK pipeline shader stage create info. VK create, what did I say? VK pipeline shader stage create info. Looks totally different. VK create graphics pipelines. Right, nobody can remember where this is. Maybe I should forget the function call that we are in. And instead just look at the structure, because it's not a function, right? It's a structure. So somewhere we have a VK pipeline shader stage create info. I think I am going to look in the source code. Here I see one. Push back. I think this is the one. This is a vector with pipeline shader stage create info. Which is subsequently used as a pointer in the graphics pipeline create info. Yep. Which is no doubt being passed here. It's so much information. It's a puzzle where exactly the thing is that is not correct. Or maybe I can just highlight module and it should be printed. It's one of the modules. We just do that. Maybe it's smarter. Validation error here. Module. Highlight that. There it is. Module. It's two modules though. I have a vertex module and a fragment module. And it is complaining about it is not telling us which model it is. Oh, here, invalid object data 31. So this one. At least that's the one that is complaining about. Yeah, well, if you just look at this, no pointer entry is main, that's the module handle. Stage vertex flags are empty. And then we have, that is P stages, which is a vector with two entries, one for the vertex shader and one for the fragment shader. So this looks perfectly okay to me. As in, P stages looks perfectly okay. So this is perfectly okay. Pipeline shader stage create infos. And we got that from a call to the FlatCreateInfo get pipeline. Yep, so that is the create info list. And we are filling that by calls to add with vectors containing vk pipeline shader stage create info. I guess that's this one. Yep. So at shader stage as a vector, shader stage create infos, which is registered with the flat create info here. Now that seemed to work because I was using it. And is filled with a module handle that it says is invalid. Now here's the pushback and here's the module. Build shader. Shader model is create module. Well, why would that not work? So I want to go back to the debug output and I'm going to just search for the handle. It says it's invalid, but what the hell is invalid about it? How unclear can you be? Maybe it's destructed? I mean, it doesn't even recognize it as a handle, I think. So it could be destructed handle. So let's try to... I can only highlight it, I'm afraid. Yeah. Created object shader input data dot shader module with handle and type vk shader module. Oh no, and how can I track if that was destructed again? I don't think it was, because it's not mentioned anymore after this. Because that's this thing. Looks like a vertex shader to me. Nope, not getting it whatsoever. I'm afraid I'm stuck. This is such a bad error. Why does it think that it is not valid? That's not helpful. Yeah, I don't have the source code of the validation layers, just the headers. I don't think I can check it. Hmm. Shader module is here dereferenced, and that is the handle. It is a unique pointer. Could it be that this thing, if this is destructed, it would, well, could that be silently destructing my handle? I suppose it does, right? So, the only thing that would be easy to understand is when the thing is already destructed. And it would be destructed if this is destructed. So maybe I should add a destructor here that prints that it is being destructed. Thing doesn't have a destructor or constructor. And it is a base class, so I'm going to add a protected destructor. Does not override. Why the hell does this not override? Let me see. Yeah, well, I have to add it anyway, right? Would be kind of dangerous not to have a vertical destructor. Although I don't think I delete these things by characteristic range bridge or anything. But we have a vertical table anyway, so yeah. Let's make this one vertical. And then the other bridge as well. You would think that the default, aka what the compiler generates, is a vertical if there is any other vertical function. It's like so normal, but on the other hand, I don't know. Anyway, now definitely has a. Okay, let's add some comment. Make that destructor vertical, even though we never delete by bridge pointers. Really? Deleted function virtual pipeline add push constant. Destructor overriding non-deleted function. How the hell would add push constant have a deleted destructor? Like, no, sorry, you cannot delete this. Well, I didn't edit add push constant, so maybe something is missing there. Add push constant, wait, it says here. That push constant is implicitly deleted because the default definition would be ill-formed. Why? Use of deleted function, virtual pipeline, no declared here. Oh, I just made an error. I typed delete instead of default. It's such nonsense. Default. Did I do that the same with the other one? Yeah, deleting a destructor is usually not done. That would be really weird. I don't like this. Maybe I'm gonna try to compile with less CPUs. And then see if my audio survives that. Parallel $CPUs. CPUs set to this. How does one subtract 2 from that? I'll just do it manually. That's a resource. It's maybe not even enough, but I'll keep subtracting until my music is not distorted anymore. Let's think. No validation error. Dus we gaan het in de debugger again. Nope, it's not destructed. That's not good. Not even a module. Oh, okay. What's going on here? It's really segfaulting. So I have to debug this problem in the debugger. But if I do that, then it doesn't happen. Because we get beyond this point. There is one difficult bug. Okay, of course we are not 100% sure that it is not destructed. Or are we? I'm just looking for the handle. Maybe the handle is copied and then we destruct the object and then the handle is destructed somewhere else. It's really far-fetched, but well, we have to be 100% sure. So the bloody code that I added was this destructing module, and at the very least I should have printed at this pointer as well, I guess. And this will be printed, and also it does not happen here, I think. Nope. And if I run it in the debugger, let's see if then we see that string. Can I do this? Yeah, just before we even started. It did not see that string anywhere in this debug output. Ah, I don't understand this. I'm going to ask for help. People say that they are missing me because since I started streaming, I stopped doing a kind of a blog on Discord. Well, anyway, I'm going to ask on Discord, what is this about? I don't know. General? Yeah, see forever problem. I cannot just put Discord on the stream because then you see everything, which I don't want. It says streamer mode is enabled, but it's still showing things that I think are stupid to show. So I can, I don't know, I have to type on the other monitor. Okay, I'm typing, I'm getting a validation error that I can't solve. It says what the fuck? It says that while calling create, yeah, I have to use the CRP, I guess. I have two debuggers running at the same time. That's interesting. Did I? Yes, I did. Okay, while calling VK create graphics pipelines, but the handle seems perfectly fine to me. It wasn't destructed either. What could be causing this? No. And micro David, well, hell, very easy. Just don't have a live. Well, I do have a live, of course. This is my live. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you then, micro David. Hey, but how do we solve this? Because I posted a question on Discord, but you never know if anyone is going to answer, or at least not when. Do you need some brainstorming here? What can I do? I'm still thinking that the most likely thing would be that it is destructed. And the next thing would be that it is overridden with something, so we have corrupted memory, although that seems pretty unlikely. I don't know. And the next step is that I just download a validation error library. So I have the source code, so I can literally see why it prints this, and then go back from there. But that would be a lot of work. Okay, now, well, another possibility, of course, is that indeed we created something, and that something is just not entirely correct, even though it didn't complain back then. That seems also very unlikely, because why would it return a handle at that moment when that handle is invalid? It should not return an invalid handle to me. So, yeah, no, actually. Cannot believe that. I think what I did not do yet is look at the specs for the function call itself and approach it from that point, which is called, I think I just pasted it, so the VK create graphics pipeline. Nope. Here, let's delete this. Nothing. It's not a lot. It's not doing anything. That took a long time. Oh, wait, it's still searching. Now there we are. It's so much, this documentation, that it took a minute for my computer to search a web page. Wow. Okay, here's the actual function call. Yeah, we just pass a device and pipeline cache if you want. And create info count. It's the number of create infos. Which are being, we can create multiple pipelines. Would that be the problem? That I'm trying to create 2 pipelines and then have both use the same module. And that's not allowed. Allocation callbacks, probably null. And then this is where it writes to. Yeah, we have multiple VK graphics pipeline create infos, apparently. Now I want to know how big this value is here. I'm getting an answer for someone. It says anything that would change the value of a variable or it was destroyed. I don't think it was destroyed. Typing, could it happen if I tried to use the same module handle for the creation of 2 different pipelines? He says, I doubt it unless your code does something weird or bad. I don't get it. It's not really helpful, I think. But yeah, I mean, the whole information that I give, is what we have, it's almost nothing. Don't know what I would expect. He says that he does it all the time, so using the same module handles for different pipelines. And then he deleted that again. He doesn't want other people to know that he's doing that all the time. So, I don't know. Well, and still I want to know what that count is. Don't tell me you don't have a create info count. That is pretty much impossible. Oh, I'm not printing that. That is correct. Actually, I'm printing it here now. I see. These stages. Create info count would be, but it's possible that I don't print it and I just show the whole. I'm not creating multiple pipelines at the same time. This creates pipeline, not pipelines. There's a great graphics pipelines here. Single button window. Graphics pipelines. Yeah, see the description master. How can I help you if you don't understand English? I have no idea how to approach this even. I mean, I have seldom had less ideas what to do now than I have now. This is not good. already have one pipeline. Oh, I have one idea. I have one very small idea. It might make a difference if I reduce the number of threads. I don't think it works with just one thread. Let's see. I also set the number of characteristics to 1, but I don't know if my code can handle that. Now we're trying to debug something. No, yeah, I mean, I might have to write from a new application from scratch. Something that is just majorly simplistic. Because this is just too complex, apparently. And then I have no idea what's wrong. I mean, I changed a lot in the engine, so I could try to make the user code as simple as possible, and then at least get you know, the engine to work with the most simplistic thing that you can think of, and then go from there. Because it's always much easier to debug something if you have a working version and then the broken version, and then how closer they are together, the better. Then at some point you understand which change is causing it. So you have to start with something that works, and then work slowly towards what I'm trying to do now. Okay, I was looking for a number of threads. Using a default or something. It's not setting anything. I can also not remember, of course. Let's go to the top of the file, the base class maybe sets it. How the hell can I not quickly find back the number of threads? Well, it's part of the application. It's not part of the window, it's part of the application. Texture test. Application. Texture test is the application. Number of worker threads. Okay, let's set this to 2. I don't think 1 works. And it hangs. Yeah. Well, then 2 is not enough. Hopefully 3 then. I might have too many. What is it? I have the thread pool has different priority queues: high priority, medium, and low. And that means that they reserve a thread. So one thread is just simply not being used because it's always available for the high priority. And then a second thread is for never used for the low priority. So I need at least 3 to run the low priority things. It still hangs. So maybe I should get rid of all the priorities, just have a single queue. I thought it was trying 3. Why is this 2? Still error. Yeah, okay, so that didn't help then. I don't want to. I don't want to. This is really bad. These things are also too difficult. I need a new application, I think. Let's add this one and just not even include test at all. Just change this back. And then we do, here I have a Linux viewer, which I'm also not compiling at the moment. The Linux viewer is actually also pretty big. Although it is only drawing a single triangle. Does a lot of other stuff, but is, I guess, unrelated. Let's try. Add, no, it's saying that it is bad. It is a null. It says if it is not the null handle, well, then it must be valid. So it says that it is invalid. And I cannot think of any other reason that a handle would become invalid after you got it returned from Vulkan than when you destruct it. But I don't see that I am destructing it. Okay, so I'm going to try to fix my application that just draws a single triangle. Well, shader input data was deleted, we don't have that anymore. Shader input data is not a member of pipeline. Create graphics pipelines. It might be that this function is not even called anymore. Create graphics pipelines. I changed so much. Is that even called? Oh, it is called. The shader input data is, I don't know. Shader input data. I don't have that. I need a characteristic object, unfortunately. But yeah. It wants me to call preprocess and then build shader. And then get these so someone else is entering me. It has a kind of a point though. A model could or should have a debug name as well. So my debug output prints basically everything. And I see in the output where is the debug name, and after that it is not mentioned whatsoever until this line. Yeah, we can hardly paste this, right? Let's see, flags, fragment. I want to do up till and including stage bindings. These stages as close as here. Yeah. No, okay. So one of the Vulkan gods started answering me, and he said, Well, he said, do you keep your shader modules around after creating the pipeline? And I say yes. And then, so I said, yes, the module is not deleted. And then he says, it has to be, otherwise that validation layer message would not show up. So then I said, that's what I was thinking too. That is, I can't think of any other reason except memory corruption. But thanks for confirming. I will have a very deep look into a possible destruction. So still the first hypothesis is, yeah, not 100% ruled out. Only 99.9% sure. So I don't feel very good about it, but theoretically it would be destructed. I think so. Maybe I should return to the program and just test that again. That would be easier, I think, even than fix what I'm doing now. I have to undo the diff here, I think. There's no diff here in source. Commented, uncommented it, so just commented that. Yeah, just show this. I'll just restore it. Okay, configure. It's kind of strange, I have to say, that it did not want to compile anything. Well, no, okay. So the test, I did have that uncommented. Textures, so I touch a texture test and it will compile that. Linking, that went so fast I couldn't even see it. But okay, it's different than saying nothing, just nothing to do. I'll do one more test. Let's touch window.h. Yeah. Right. Well, I'm using CC cache, which is very fast. So maybe I should just really make a change to it. Making a change that doesn't do anything is so difficult. Oh no, what shall I change? Let's add a space here. It's ridiculous, of course. Okay, now you can see that something was compiled. It was still fast. Yeah, that was still in the cache. Right, and You get at least a validation error still. No, just not a GPU that is extremely old. But if it's not too old, then it should already support it. Be supported. I bet your GPU supports it. Okay, there was some kind of trick to dump. Dump. Lunar set. I don't think it's set. Do I run the configure thing? Damn it, I don't know how to do this anymore. VK config or something? No. Why is my memory so bad? I can just try it. VK config. Oh, that was it. So we want to do an API dump. The executable is already set. Everything is set. Output log. I guess I can just override this. Clear log at launch. It's cleared now. Load on messages, none, launch. Let's see. I'm not convinced it works. Totally not convinced. Probably won't work. Okay, process terminated. Missing required layers. So it's just not working. Can I turn that on at the same time? Maybe you cannot do validation at the same time as an RP dump. But I need to be on, I think. Can I do a debug compile without validation layers? Yeah, well, find that in the Jesus. Project source. Well, it probably has the word validation in it, right? Validation. So there. Well, this validation users do debug messages. Messenger. Debug messenger. Validation. No, I'm gonna try validation with a capital V. That also not works. Actually, probably need an X here. That might be it. Debug message. Yeah. Nope, then it's already turned on. Yeah, That's what I was looking for. Validation. That was the last thing, of course. With an X but lowercase v. Yep. So, well, I'm just going to hard code stuff. I mean, I'll undo it in the end. No support yet for this stuff. So pretend at this point that we have no validation layers. Does that mean we have no CW debug being defined? And I suppose that should get rid of the validation layers like this, right? Yeah, now we should still get some kind of crash, I hope, because without the validation layers, it's going to just continue running. So there's a good chance now that my GPU locks up. Well, that should automatically unlock after a few seconds, so hopefully I don't have to restart the stream. We just core dump, okay. However, okay, let's try that again. Write it to a file. Create graphics pipeline. Thank God we got there. So before we had this module here, and then it said this is an invalid module. That's what I did during this call. But now it just continues running. So now let's run vk-config again. Clear log at launch. I want this to be cleared, otherwise I get confused. Well, change something and not write it. Oh, this is Linux viewer. Okay, undo. Yeah, let's not change anything here then. That is off today. Let's just remove it. That was better, I think. Create graphics pipeline unique, unknown, error unknown. So then it might actually be throwing an exception now. Yeah, it's still creating graphics pipeline. Stage count 2, vertex module. So that's one of the pointers. Paste them here in the chat. And maybe, you know, the other one. You need both to be good. And then instead of getting a validation error, well, something is being thrown. VK device, so that looks like an error that is being thrown by the vulkan library, even though the validation layers were turned off. And now we're going to look in this file. Is this a dump? Where's my dump? Sorry, but it does not look like an RP dump. Did not dump my vulkan calls. Just the output of my program. Sorry. Nope, not getting it. But I thought when I see dump here, but I don't know. Feels to me that that it is not working. It's just not working. Let's face it. The log file is not dumping. No. think we're missing environment variables, but you would think that that interface would set it. There. Let's uncomment that. Right, running it somewhere else. Don't think so. Yeah, I was running it here, but let's now run it here. Oh no, actually, let's run it here. That is a resource. Set grab lunar. Yep. Hell, it might even dump it when it runs like this. Yep, now it dumps it. We have a dump. And then core dump. Vulkan generability with task pipeline realize. Rest tot second field. Yeah, I'm not really interested in that. Okay, so we have both outputs, I guess. And I want to do search for create graphics pipeline. There it is. And then we see the dump here. What it is doing. This is what is actually being called. So PipelineInfo points to something that has let's see, create info count is 1. That's also nice to know. And this thing contains no p next flags was 0, stage count is 2, p stages is 0, and struct pipeline shader stage create info, no p next flags is 0, stage is a vertex, and the module is that thing with still its correct debug name. And here also no, not feeling good about it actually, but let's switch backwards. That's being passed indeed. Shader module. Destroy shader model. Okay, we found it. I'll specifically address the guru. No, okay, so now he knows that I found that indeed it is destroyed. Now, and my own debug output is totally silent about it, isn't it? What the hell is going on here? It's like create shader model. Output, but it's not the same thing. Compiling. Oh, I understand it. Yeah, of course. You gotta be kidding me, right? Yeah, and that would be silent. Ha ha ha. Okay. Let me think. So go to Vulkan pipelines. Pipeline. Add shader stage.h. Oh boy, I'm an idiot. Yeah. So this is a virtual base class that is being used by both fragment shader and vertex shader. And one of the shaders is overridden by the other. So I'm just writing the vertex shader to this variable, and then after that I'm writing the fragment shader to it. Since it's a unique pointer, it deletes the vertex shader because I assigned. Okay. I have to type that as well in Discord as an explanation, I think. The error was that I am using a virtual base class called add shader stage, which has the member but since it is a virtual, that variable was used to store both the vertex and the fragment shader. Haha. Okay. Yep. Now, finally things are simple again. I was so afraid about this bug. I think, what the hell is going on? But now it's simple. Now, exactly like what I did here, I'd have a map. You know, it's depending on the actual stage. And I guess we need that for this for the shader module as well. Or for whatever I need to keep around, because it is single-threaded. So I think that the pipeline stage create info is just needed while creating the module, and then so we can override it, can reuse this one. But we have to keep the shader module itself around until, yeah. It's actually not even a good idea to keep it here. I have to move it somewhere. This is a base class of a characteristic, which is added to the PipelineFactory, but I don't see any reason not to destroy the PipelineFactory, and thus this base class. As soon as it is done with creating the pipelines. And we need to keep this as long as we keep the pipelines. So it has to be moved along with the pipeline. Once we have a pipeline, I'm certain I move it somewhere. And then we have to move this along with it. So we keep them together, I guess. Yeah, right. Keep Keep modules. You have to keep the modules alive. You cannot destroy the modules as long as the pipeline is using it. At least you cannot record anything. So that would be pretty useless not to do that. And this was not printed. I was just overriding this variable. It's not a destruction, but a destruction by overriding it. Now I should do the move, I think, before I override it, and at that point it will be null again. So I can add an assert to catch this problem in the future. So here it's overridden, and yeah, assert. It should definitely not be set. I'll call that a paranoia check because I don't think it can happen. It should not be possible that that happens as a result of the mistake of the coder that is using the library, Vulkan engine. Paranoia check. But if it happens, then well, even I got very scared. And we have such a big problem that it is better to get this assert with an explanation. Paranoia check. Let's put it on one line. If the add shader stage the vectoral base class is used more than once, then the shader module handle should be saved before overriding it. That's well saved, okay, but I'm gonna move this the same thing here. I don't know where I want to move it yet though. To the pipeline, right? It's, yeah, I have to describe that here, I guess, but I don't know yet before overriding it. Say move to a safe place. Okay, so if I compile this now and we run it, then it should assert on that assert. Okay, print environment, and let's turn the dump off again because I saw that. And then resource, reconfigure, and build. Oh, but really? Yeah, I guess. And I'll record them here. And the reason is that, well, we don't do this yet. Okay, so this is after compiling the fragment shader. And then it wants to override, well, it's just compiling it, and then it wants to override it, which is not good. And that means that between here and the creation of the fragment shader, so vertex shader, sorry, we should have moved it away, preferably together with a pipeline. I hope it's not too much. Compiling. Okay, this is the vertex shader, I guess. So that's definitely not a lot. Thread pool 0 is compiling, I think both. And like I said, it was single threaded. So thread pool 0 here is compiling the vertex shader. And then we have some other threads running, and then we create a new one and start compiling the fragment shader. Yeah, immediately. There is no pipeline yet. Yeah, I started last week. No, kidding. Clement is tolling. I think I used to think that it would take 10 years. I mean, you say master. But in the meantime, C++ has been extended so much that I think it's more like you can't. But then, what does a master really mean? So it's a lifetime more like it. And then still you won't know everything. But what I'm doing here is nothing to do with C++. I'm just using C++ as the language. What I'm doing here is related. The problems are with the libraries that I wrote myself and the Vulkan library, of course. And C++ is not a problem here. Not whatsoever. But I do not know everything about C++. So I just use from C++ what I know, and if I need something very new, then I ask around and I investigate stuff, of course. And if then I see that it is best done in a way that I never used before, then I learn that. I'm not scared to learn new things. So yeah, a lifetime basically. But I've used brand new C++ syntax in the last year. That is so difficult that I can hardly say that I master it. I used it, but I don't master it. I'll give you one example. For example, the if I can find it at I think something with member in it. This one, for example, I guess. Let's say a year ago, certainly 2 years ago, I had absolutely no clue how to do this. So this is a template with using a concept, and it is using folding expressions. An inline lambda with a folding expression that then runs another lambda with the folding expression in it, and then yeah. So I kind of understand now how it works, but mastering is different because basically I had someone else write this for me, and then I played with it a bit until I understood it. And that then calls one of these two functions. And using this is designated designated initialization. That's all very new. I think C++ 20. So I didn't know that 2 years ago. And now I'm using it often. All those things are new for me. Concepts, designated initializations, folding expressions. I didn't know that 2 years ago. So that was after 16 years of, after 26 years of C++. I still did not know that, but well, why not? Because it's new. They keep adding stuff to C++. It's almost impossible to keep up. I didn't do any ranges. They added ranges. They added stuff that I just thought, well, yeah, no. I'm not going to learn that just for the sake of learning it. So it's kind of important to keep in contact with other people. I used IRC, Internet Relay Chat, as a channel for C++, where you can ask questions. And then people that are much better than you answer it. And then they will, you have a problem, you ask. You do, of course, hours and hours of research first before you ask their time. I mean, come on, there's 1,000 people that want their time. So when you're completely stuck and you have ready to go test, minimal test on, say, one box, so people can just look at it, run it, see the compile error, etc. And then they will, if they like you, come up with maybe an answer. And that answer then might contain stuff that you never heard of before, and that way you learn something new. Either that, or you just read standard every time. Every 3 years they they write a new standard, and then you have to keep up with that. If you do a course, if you have a job, maybe your boss will pay for that. I don't know. Okay, how am I going to solve this? I feel like stopping because it's 10 o'clock and it's a nice moment to stop. Because I have to go to the bathroom, really. That's the main reason. And I have to stretch my legs. The problem is known, but I don't know. Don't feel like looking into it anymore now today. So let me make do my advertisement again. Maybe I should just make a file of it that I can just paste at the end of the stream. It's a good idea. Let's do that. I'm gonna do I have this. The wrong button. There it is, the Collat's conjecture. Let's make a new file and announce. No, I don't have to do it again. I just can paste it next time. On coming Sunday, 25 December. First Christmas Day at 1800 UTC, so that is 1900 CET, but God knows where everyone is from. I will start a Christmas stream with Christmas music and hot chocolate. You write that like this? Chocolate milk? Yeah, I think the milk is needed as well. I'll also buy marshmallows, cookies, and I'm really going to sin that day. It's just one day. Can finally eat everything I want the whole evening long. And what I'm going to do is, well, nothing less than let's say during the stream I will attempt to prove the Collins's conjecture. That's something that nobody has been able to prove yet. And people say mathematics is not ready for that. So maybe in 200 years someone will actually be able to prove it. So that looks like a fun attempt. Of course, we'll use C++, and most importantly, I'm going to explain everything in detail. You only need to know middle school math, multiplication and division and addition and subtraction. And everything else I'll explain, but you might need an IQ of 150, I wanted to say. Well, maybe 140 is enough. So I think you have to be on time. So be on time, because I will explain a lot of stuff. And if you miss the beginning, then yeah, I don't know. I cannot guarantee. I'll give a little example. We start, for example, with the natural numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. And I'm going to divide that into n0. Actually, we need also the negative numbers, otherwise it doesn't work. -3, -2, -1. And that is a set, is a set of numbers. And I'm going to define this as -3, 0, 3, 6, and so on. Now, all these numbers are divisible by 3. All the numbers that are divisible by 3. And then we're going to define the set n1 as, and then we'll add 1 to everything, so that becomes and n2 is, add 1 again, 2, 5, 8. Now you will understand, if I add 1 again, yeah, so n2 plus 1, that means n2 is a set. Plus 1 means that I'm going to add 1 to every element of the set. Then the 5 turns into the 6, and the 2 turns into the 3, and the -1 turns into the 0. So, surprise, that is n0. Actually, I can even write n2 plus n1 equals n0. Because it doesn't matter what you add. You can add 1, but you can also add 4. If you add 4, or you can add 7. Each number in this set is a representative of that set. And you just pick one and add it to all the numbers in one set, or you pick one from this set and you add to all the numbers from that set, and you get all the numbers in that set. So n1 plus n2 is n0, n2 plus n1 is n0. And so we can also have that n0 plus n0 is n0. Yeah, 6 plus 3 is 9. Well, okay, 9 is also a part of that. You'll never get any number here. And then this one is interesting. n2 plus n2 equals n1. Don't believe me? 5 plus -1 is 4. That's in n1. If you pick any two numbers from n2 and you add them together, you get a number in n1. That, my friends, is modular arithmetic, modulo 3. Modulo 3. Yes? Now you have learned in C++, of course, the percentage, you can do %3, and then that results in either 0, 1 or 2. But we are going to have to think about it in terms of sets like this, because of what follows. Okay, so this kind of thing. It's not difficult, but you have to be there, otherwise maybe later you would lose track. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, I guess.